What's going on, guys? So I know it's been a pretty long time since I made a video. I apologize for that, but with just work and everything, I've been really busy and I haven't gotten a chance to even make a video or even play Airsoft. So yeah, like I said, I apologize for that. And I haven't even really played Airsoft in a while, and I really started to kind of fade away from it. But yeah, I'm trying to get, back organized, back into it and stuff like that. I've actually missed out on a lot of fun games that I really wish I could have went to. And so yeah, my job's just really been slowing me down, but I'm gonna try to get back into it and make this kind of like a comeback video and starting over. So I figured I would do an update on my guns and whatnot. So here's my G&G, my G4. This is probably going to be my main primary from now on, and I'll tell you more on why later in this video. But yeah, so I don't really remember how this gun looked the last time you saw it, but so I'm just going to go over the whole gun. Magpul UBR stock in the back, have my wires back here, and I stick the battery in the buffer tube, or sometimes I'll run the screen stock battery with the battery pouch on the outside, with one of these sticks in the tube and the other one in the battery pouch. Otherwise, I use just one of these regular 11-1 stick lipos, and they work pretty well in this gun. One thing that I like to do is I like to mount the upper half of the UBR back one notch so that I can close it all the way and not pinch the wires. So also that it's a little bit more comfortable that way, because then with the stock all the way closed, it's almost in perfect position to line up with my EOTech magnifier. So yeah, that setup right there is pretty good. As you know, the G&G G4s have the forward assist function. Push that and it will detent the spring. Right now, I'm just running my P-mags. These are the real ones. Let's see. I got my Magpul M-bus on here. Obviously, the rear one does not function when I have the EOTech magnifier on here. My EOTech 552. Let's see what else I got on here. I don't have a Magpul trigger guard, which I need to get one, because you look at this gun, you see a lot of Magpul, but yet I don't have a Magpul pistol grip or a trigger guard. And the reason I don't have the Magpul pistol grip is because I just cannot stand the way the Moe pistol grips adjust. Like, you can never get a good adjustment out of those pistol grips. Like, there's just no way. They always sound louder or screechier no matter how you adjust it. So I just stick with the stock one because I have no problems with it, and it matches the body a lot better than the Moe one does, so I just left that alone. Internally, the only thing that I've done is a Combat Squad high torque motor. I was experimenting with motors when I bought that one, and I did a comparison between the stock motor and the Combat Squad, and the torque is about the same. The Combat Squad might have just a little bit more, but the rate of fire is way better. So the Combat Squad motors, I'd say they're built probably more for speed than they are torque. So if you're looking for a motor that can pull a decent spring and also be fast, you can go with this motor. And it only cost me like 25 bucks, so not that big of a loss for me. And it works good, so I left it in there. So yeah, Daniel Defense MK18 rail. This is the real one. The trades are on here. They're just covered up by all the accessories that I have, so I'm not even going to bother trying to show them to you. Magpul XTM rail covers with my AFG1, my PEC 15, and my M-bus front sight, which also does not really like to flip up because when I have the lens cover on here, it blocks it, but you can easily just slide that right out of the way. But yeah. These are also the cheap M-bus, by the way. I only paid like 15 bucks for both of them, because I mean, for a set of sights that you're probably not even going to use, why would you want to pay $100 for the real ones when honestly you look at these and you really can't tell. Okay, so 15 bucks compared to 90. I mean, you can use that extra $80 or 75, whatever, to buy yourself something else. The suppressor is an AAC quick detach. You can see it comes with the, oh yeah, I did add a little bit longer of an inner barrel. This is the Mad Bull inner barrel with a QD silencer on here. And you can screw that thing back on there if you want to go suppressed. So yeah, the gun shoots really well. It shoots exactly around 400, so really good for field use. Everything still works great, and I love these guns, honestly. For the price that you pay for these plastic G&Gs, they are probably hands down one of the best guns to buy out of the box. Because I run 11-1s on these things all day long without a single problem. And that's a really big test straight out of the box. So plus with a faster motor, that's even more wear on the internals with no problems. That's a pretty good built gearbox. So these guns, definitely one of my top favorite guns out there. So let's go into the next one. And this is my VFC M4. I know you guys have seen this gun a lot, and it really doesn't ever change that much because there's just really nothing that needs to be done to this gun because it's already so good just the way that it is. So I know I did a couple different external upgrades. Like I know I put these M-Bus sights on here and this RVG because I think it's just a little bit more comfortable than the AFG on this side of a gun. My UBR also houses the battery and the active braking MOSFET in the back, along with my ACOG here. It's a really nice gun. Internally, I'm using a Lonex high torque motor, which is probably one of the best torque motors that you can buy. I mean, those things are extremely torqued up, and they're also really fast too. And VFC's gearbox is one of the best build gearboxes in the market as well, but not out of the box, because out of the box VFC's pistons are junk. I mean, complete junk. You want to get that thing out of there as fast as possible, because all it's going to do is shred all over the place and just put plastic shavings in your gearbox. Just get that piston out of there. Another thing that I'd recommend upgrading out of the box is VFC's motor, because their motors are junk too. So 2 upgrades and a VFC can be the best gearbox on the market if they would just fix their piston and fix their motor. That's it. Those 2 things. And this thing's pushing about 410 feet per second. With this Lonex motor, it's about 30 rounds a second too. And this thing never breaks. I mean, I've put this thing through the ringer and I've checked the piston, gears, everything. Not a single mark of wear. The active braking also really helps with the piston overspin, so it's not getting that extra unneeded wear. And just all in all, this gun is amazing. The bolt catch and release still works, so it makes adjusting your hop up pretty easy. And then, actually the inner barrel is still stock on here, because VFC's inner barrels are pretty good out of the box as well. So there really was no need to change that. I did throw in a GMP hop-up because VFC gives you a plastic one out of the box. And there's really nothing wrong with the plastic one, because I don't think a plastic hop-up unit is really going to break on you. Maybe after a while it will, but it'll still work. The only reason I chose to change it is because in the winter, plastic tends to be a lot more fragile than metal, and I play in the winter a lot, so I went ahead and changed that just in case. And I did throw in a Sistema tune-up kit for this gun just to get a little bit more air compression and quiet the gun down a little bit. And that was the piston head, cylinder, and air nozzle. Again, those are not necessarily something that you need to upgrade, but if you do want to quiet your gun down just a little bit and get a little bit more FPS out of your lower springs, the Sistema tune-up kit is definitely one of the best tune-up kits to get for these. And I probably bought about 3 sets of those now, and they're by far my favorite. I've tried Matrix, and they're just junk. Spend the money and get the Sistema, because the Matrix will just, oh man, I can't even tell you how bad those things were. The plastic rubber piece on the piston head just fell off inside the gearbox, which ended up breaking my piston and a lot of other stuff. So yeah, I'll just go with Sistema all day long. But yeah, so that's this gun. And now for the final gun and the most expensive gun, and that is my Celsius CTW. And I know you guys wanted to see more of this gun a while ago, but it's just been, like I said, really hard to make a video. And this would be my #1 primary if I had a motor. I have completely rebuilt this gun externally and internally. I had the FCC Gen 2 motor in here, and it was, oh my god, that motor sounds so good in these guns. But the motor didn't really line up with the pinion gear, or I'm sorry, the bevel gear very well, and it actually stripped out the stock bevel gear. So I bought the Fight Club one, and it still was not meshing right, because the Fight Club motor is actually meant for a Sistema's gearbox, and they are slightly different. So if you're going to get a Fight Club motor, make sure you use Celsius pinion gear. I made that mistake, and I sent my Celsius over to Tackleberry, and I haven't gotten it back yet, so I went ahead and sold the Fight Club motor until I get my Tackleberry motor back. So I really can't tell you guys how long it's going to be before I get this gun working. But the external is done, minus the MOE grip and the trigger guard that I'll get for it. But otherwise, that is it. I did buy the FCC micro MOSFET for the buffer tube, the FCC adjustable ECU for 3-shot and full auto, and I also did my own trigger mod. Out of the box, the Celsius trigger is very stiff. As you can see on safety, it's very loose. Put it on semi, and that trigger is very easy to pull. And I did that just by simply removing the trigger spring. So you can pull the trigger rapidly, very fast. And with these Fight Club internal parts, it always registers every shot. So if I could just get my motor back, this gun would be up and running. But for a parts list on this gun, I have a Magpul CTR stock. And yeah, as you can see, that's another thing that sucks about not having a motor. The pistol grip does not stay on, because the pistol grip actually mounts to the motor, and it basically, without it, it just slides right on here. But so yeah, CTR stock, Magpul ASAP sling mount, Magpul MBUS rear sight, Aimpoint T1, Troy TRX rail, Magpul AFG, MBUS front sight, and a Noveski sound amplifier, which does add a really nice sound to this gun. And yeah, so that's about it. The magazine that I have in here right now is the stock magazine that came with the gun. I ordered some of the plastic Veneris magazines, and they seem to work very well with this gun. And yeah, so as soon as I get this thing working, I will make a video of shooting it and whatnot. But yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I apologize for not making a video for a while. Hopefully I'll get more videos out soon of gameplay and shooting tests. But for now, thanks for sticking around. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.